Hey everybody, this is Micah. I'm going to be walking you through a whole lot of examples of Google Sheets that I've used to help automate my business as well as many other businesses. Specifically, this is great for digital marketers, whether you're doing SEO, PPC, content marketing, or anything of the sorts. It doesn't really matter. So let's just dive right in. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. And if you have any questions, I will put up my email on the last slide or last sheet so you can contact me should you need anything. So we're going to start out with this first one. And you may be a little confused, like, well, how's this going to help me? Well, the whole overarching goal for these sheets, if I were to take a step back and explain it real quick, is to help increase your productivity. I call this the productivity explosion blueprint. And you're going to see just a snippet of it right now. And so what it does is it helps you immediately fix some cash flow issues so that you can take the time back from hiring people or trying to service clients or whatever to be able to do whatever you need to do to take a step back and focus on how's your business running, how can you improve it? Because too many times people get caught up in what a lot of people call the whirlwind of what do you got to do today to keep the business running, and you don't have enough time to plan for the future. And oftentimes then the business just kind of goes out of control like a ship without a captain to steer her right. And so I'm going to show this. I've heard it called cash flow index or cash flow indicator. Pretty much, it's really just the number of payments you have left on any particular loan. I just have some example loans in here that you can see, car loans down to mortgages, what their balance is, what the minimum payment is, and then really it's the number of payments left. But people call it different things. I happen to like cash flow index, so that's what I went with. So it's pretty easy to use this, and I'm actually gonna give you a copy of this so that you can all you gotta do is just enter your balance and your minimum payments, and it will automatically calculate and color code for you so you know which ones that you need to pay off. And you can even, if I can do this correctly, you can even filter all of these, and it makes it really nice and easy. There we go. It makes it really nice and easy to figure out which ones you need to focus on and when. So the red obviously is bad, green is good, yellow is so-so, something to keep your eye on. So take a look at these. I mean, these are, pretty, decent examples. I mean, maybe the credit card loan might be a little bit more, that's fine. So I kind of built these examples off of my own life, my wife, having different expenses and just seeing what, how we need to pay stuff off. Because, who is that? I think it's Dave Ramsey that says, you need to pay off the smallest balance first. So you get that sense of achievement and all that crap. So you just keep rolling it over. Yeah, but then you kind of worry about the interest, and the interest is going to kill you probably. Down the road, if you're thinking about that, well, there's also inflation. So I'd rather spend my money now on stuff that can make me money now than hopefully, recoup it down the road. Then there's others that say, pay off the highest interest first. And that's good if you want to keep, from paying a whole lot of money over time. But once again, with inflation, you really don't have to worry about that too much. I mean, if your interest rate is 10%, say, then really you're only losing 6% because interest is on average about 4%, depending on where you're at. So this is kind of like a good mix between those, because really for business and even personal, it doesn't matter how much you have that particular month or you might save later, is how much you have consistently coming in each and every month. Even those ups and downs, trying to minimize that and make it stabilize as much as possible. And that's what this does. As you can see with the car loan, with this theoretical balance of $14,000 and your minimum payment is $500, you have roughly 28 payments left before it's paid off. So what does that tell you? That tells you, let me close this real quick, that tells you of all of these loans, you need to pay that off first, just because of the number of payments. And then you start looking at it as like, man, what does that mean if I pay that off first? That's an extra $500 to your business, your personal pocket that you can use anywhere else. Yeah, credit card loans and small business loans and other loans are, they're going to have a lot of interest applied to them. But once again, it's all about that cash flow to make sure you can keep operating and be there on for emergencies or whatever other things come up. So with that $500, if you can, trim that out really quick, 6, 7, 8 months down the road. Now you have that $500 you can place anything, and then according to this, your next thing to be looking at is your student loans, because it's the next number. But, as long as it's not red, you can kind of, hold off a little bit. But, as this dwindles down to, 10,000, and then, you get down to 8,000, and then down to 5,000, and you keep going down. Whoops, 4,000. Yes, the cutoff is set at 30. So, you can see, once you get down to where that turns red, then that's when you start focusing on that one. You can go ahead and focus on it sooner if you want to, but, $120, what do you do? If anything, I'd start, focusing on either the mortgage or the small business loan, because that's your next highest monthly payment. But this at least helps you make a better informed decision about how you need to go about handling your business. Because, in the end, cash flow is king. And if you don't have your cash flow right, then it really doesn't matter what kind of system you have. You're just going to go bankrupt and close the business anyways. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go to the second part, which is really the main part. And it's all about organization, because while cash flow is king, organization is queen. If you don't have those two things, then you're pretty much going to go under. Or at least you'll be working a ton, because I know I was working 60 plus hours, and now having everything organized, I work, less than 20 hours a week, usually on hands-on client stuff. I'm always working on new things. But so let's get started on some of the organization and how you can provide better value to your clients. Most of the stuff I do is local SEO work. And so a lot of these examples are going to be along that lines. But just sit and look at it. Think about really just the overarching theme, which is just how to organize, how to automate, different things like that. So this is a technical SEO audit that I do for clients on their website, where I go through hundreds and hundreds of lines on the sheet and just saying, do they pass, fails, and not relevant, or whatever. And then each of these tabs at the bottom, I just go into further detail. And I provide this for a client, and periodically, I'll provide it for a client. You can do it every month or a couple months. After you've, fix all these things on their website, then there's really not a whole lot of need to go in and do anything else, unless the client's doing a lot of updates and changing. But just look at this. Super easy, drop down some comments, super valuable. You could probably format it a little differently, make it a little nicer. But what I do is I take this and, I find, and I have, a script of, what do you got to do to find all of these, some training videos. I go and I find VA, some low-cost labor on Upwork, and, preferably some SEO experience, not a whole lot, because I don't want them doing it their own way. I want them doing it my way. And the first thing I do once I hire a few is I say, hey, go watch these videos. Once they're done, usually takes a day, then I'll say, hey, do this audit for this website, and let me see how it's done. No, man, it's going to cost $50 or less, and that provides a huge value for your client. And for this, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. It also then will help set up for your client, how long is it going to take you to correct each of these issues? for that particular client, so that if you're doing a monthly retainer, kind of helps you bolster your selling points, your pitches. But it really helps whenever you come to. I'm going to quickly jump over to this one, which is my main SEO dashboard that I'm going to show you. That's been set up for some examples. Is just this huge project plan where I'm always tracking what today is, so that if a task is left unassigned and it's past the due date, it's going to tell me it's overdue. So I can keep track of all my VAs and know what's going on, what's overdue, and I do it right here on the Pulse tab. I can just drop down menu, pick different clients, and I can see on here, this actually needs to be formatted a little better, where the red is the completed, so that's actually a good thing. This is just the default it goes to for some reason. But the project plan is the key part, because you can filter by who's the owner of what task, what bucket is that in, what project, which of your clients are you needing to check up on, and you just keep going and keep adding, and you have this template which is going to be based off of a lot of that technical stuff you're going to have in here, and then once you create this template, change up the dates and everything, you copy and paste it over here, and then you just resort by the date, and it folds it all back in. And so it makes it super, super helpful of keeping track. And you can do this with anything. I'm going to show you a bigger spreadsheet later where I do it for my link building campaigns. But I mean, you can do this for really any type of work, any process you have, whether you can outsource it overseas or not. Anybody, even if you have an office, everybody can be working out of Google Sheets for free, and everybody on the team is going to know what everybody's been assigned and what the status is. It's pretty easy to figure out. But here's the cool part. So let's just assume that this is signed and it's overdue. And I'm just like, man, why didn't you get this set up? Well, the cool thing is you can have better transparency with your clients using this. So once again, this is an example. So you actually can create a second sheet and pull in just information for a client, and they can log in and check and see, hey, they're doing work. Stuff's being working, it's been assigned, yada, yada, yada. It gives them more confidence that they're not just paying you money and then you're sitting in your butt and they're hoping for results. Like, they can see that some of these lead measures, which they lead up to your goal, are being accomplished. So then their lag measures that lag behind the goal, which are sales, they start complementing each other. So it just provides a tremendous amount of value to your clients and gains a whole lot of trust, and just makes it a whole lot easier, better working relationship. But you see that it's assigned here. So I'm going to go back over here. So this is pretty simple. Whenever somebody's working in here and they click completed, it takes about 5 seconds for this to automatically update. Boom, done. You didn't have to do anything. Your people are still working in the same sheet where the client is checking out. They can only view it, so they can't find any of the codes or anything, and they don't see anything. They just assume people are going in there and just completing all their tasks. And the client themselves will have their own visual update, which they can see of, okay, hey, this is the number of tasks completed and the percentage, the number and percentage that's assigned, overdue, and working. Like, they don't really have to talk to you. You don't have to talk to a whole bunch of your employees or outsourcers or whoever. Everybody can just do their work and go on with their lives. If there's any questions or anything, then obviously the client can email you. But this makes it super easy to speed up your work, speed up taking care of clients, speed up the communication, also that you can provide better value and you can service more clients so that you can make more money and grow. So here's another sheet. This is the walk through how to get started, but I'm going to show you the aggregated data page. So this is search efficiency by page. And so what this is used for is making sure you are only targeting one keyword with one page of your website. Now you're going to see which ones have high click-through rate but low impressions, or vice versa. You're going to be able to see the URL of the page, the keyword, impression, click-through rate, ranking, engagement. And you have the different tabs here, and it makes it super valuable to know what pages you should go after without having to log in and get. You got to get client access to Google Webmaster Tools and set that stuff up anyways, but you don't have to constantly be going around, clicking around, doing all this stuff. Like you're in one Google Drive folder for 90% of your time, unless you got to go to a client's website or something else. Like you're not going to be going all over the place, trying to work with 500 different tools that you don't even use all of their capabilities to begin with. So it makes you wonder, why are you paying for them? But so this is really good so that you can just make sure you're optimizing your time and your work. I really don't know how else to say that. You can do this a whole bunch of different ways. Whatever you want to go by your search efficiency. This is what I found best. And the thing is, with all these sheets, like this is just how I use them. Like these sheets can be customized however you want. Like, and even with these sheets, I don't even use them all the same way for each client. But that's the beauty, is like you can customize these however you need to, and you don't have to pay for it. Like Google does all the updating for you, and you don't have to pay for any of this. Unless you can get somebody to make it for you. But you don't have those stupid recurring monthly costs that eat away your margins. You can do a whole lot within Google Sheets. Next up is SEO content audit. So, once again, you have data that you have in here. And you can just look at all of this information and see, how are the information coming from Google Analytics? What's the sitemaps looking like? What about Ahrefs if you're using that, or Majestic, or Moz, or Screaming Frog, or any other tools? Some of the tools you have to use. Like, how else are you going to get the data that Ahrefs gives you or Majestic gives you? There's really not much that you can do for that, but there are a lot of free things you can get that gives you enough information to get you going. You may even find later you don't even need their paid stuff. All their free stuff is good enough. But this really just helps with conjunction of the search efficiency page of, hey, here's some opportunities. Well, now let me analyze those pages. Which ones are going to be the highest ones on both sheets. Like, all right, I'm going to focus on this page. Maybe if I boost the content, it's going to help really boost that page up super quick. Or, hey, I need to kill this page and just 301 redirect to this other page. These two sheets in conjunction are killer about being able to take massive sites. I mentioned earlier that I primarily focus on local SEO, but if somebody has an e-com site, or you just have a massive amount of clients, and those clients have massive sites, this makes it real easy to just pull in data and quickly analyze it and know what you need to be doing. Especially if you've got a VA set up and trained to do a lot of the analysis, where you just have to create the template and tell them copy it and do these couple changes to pull in that specific client's information. Like, it's crazy how much time you can buy back. Which incidentally, that is the third step in the productivity explosion blueprint, is buying back your time, finding ways to hire people, to build tools, to take yourself out of the business so you can go and just, love life however you want to love it and live it and do whatever it is. So now let's go on to the next Google Sheet. And this one was inspired by Brian Dean. It's the skyscraper link building. It's a template to use to help quickly and easily do the skyscraper method that Brian Dean talks about all the time from Backlinko. Brings in all the data from Blockspring. Here's the setup page that it walks you through how to do it. But it's super killer to know, like, I have this one page I just cannot get past, number 4 spot or something. Or, you did the SEO content audit, and you're like, man, this page really sucks, but it's ranking well. What can I do? Well, go in there and boost the crap out of the content. Make some kind of awesome piece of content you can do the skyscraper method on, and just blow it out of the water. You can just do this for once again, train a VA. Every time that you need a piece of content and it needs to be epic, just have them go in here and do the search. Copy it and just put in for each piece of content. And so if you ever need to know, what was done, you have a list right there. And so it's pretty easy to keep track of everything. And there's not much more to say on that. If you've been in internet marketing for long enough, you know about the skyscraper technique. It's pretty awesome. Here's another good one that I like: social listening. So this one lets you pull in data from forums, RSS feeds, blogs, social media, different places to find out what is your target audience talking about, so you know how to speak to them. You can also use it to spy on your competition. What are they using? How are they going about pitching people and talking and everything? And you just find out, whatever you want. And it's kind of crazy because essentially you're sitting with this spreadsheet and others like it. Like you're setting up your own sort of like spy network. Like the NSA, I'm sure is listening to me right now, especially after I said their name. It's pretty crazy. You can set up this mini little spy network to spy on your competition and to figure out what your market is wanting. Now, hopefully, with that being said, you guys are using this for good and not like stalking your ex or something, because that'd be really creepy, and I'm not going to be held liable for that. But this is just showing you how the powerful Google Sheets is when you have a couple add-ins like BlockSpring or Supermetrics or any of the other add-ins that you can get for Google Sheets. There's not really much more to say about that. If you want to know more, please let me know. Once again, I'll put my email at the last Google Sheet so that you can contact me and let me know how I can help you out. Let's move on. All right, now we're starting to transition out of content to, more of the PPC realm and, onboarding. And so this one's really awesome. This is for funnel tracking. And so, no more having to buy the expensive funnel tracking softwares that are out there. You can really set it up so that you can do all of the same things that like ActiveCampaign or ClickFunnels or whoever uses. My favorite combination is to get Optimize Press, because it's a one-time payment. Build the funnels on my site or a client site, and then integrate that with MailChimp, because you can use that free, and even the automation is free for thousands of users. If you desire a little bit more than what MailChimp can do, then ActiveCampaign is really good, pretty good price. Because there's a few things that you can't just do Google Sheets for, and I'm well aware of that, but there is a lot that you can do. And so I always try and do as much as I can in Google Sheets to just save costs for myself and my other clients. But just check this out, You've got your dashboard, so you can see your metrics by the funnel, funnel setup, product setup, everything. Because really you just use this for, with Zapier, to create a Zap, and take your information from ClickFunnels, WooCommerce, Shopify, other places, and just bring it in here and analyze it. And then you can just know, real quick, this, along with tracking your ads, ad performance, you can really see what part of my system is breaking down. Do I just simply need to throw more money at the ads so I get more people in the pipeline, or is my funnel screwed up somewhere? So this is super, super powerful. Once again, if any of y'all watching this has been on, digital marketing realm for a while, like, you'll know how powerful funnels are, and being able to set one up is one thing. Being able to accurately track, all of these all this information real easily. Entrances, checkout visits, transactions, landing to checkout percentage, checkout to purchase percentage, overall visit to purchase percentage. I mean, it's just thinking crazy. And what's cool is if you were, someone, client you're doing this for, maybe you have a board of directors or somebody you got to report to. If you couple this with Google Data Studios, Google Data Studios is awesome for reporting and creating just nice graphs and just conveying the data in a different way that's easier to understand compared to most people out there. To me, I love spreadsheets, and I live in it. I love the raw data, but I realized real quick a lot of people aren't like me. They want it nice and easy. Get what they need from just a quick glance. And so, just think about that. And we're going to move into another reporting sheet, and that's going to be focusing on YouTube analytics. So if you're not, basically, nowadays, if you're not using video, then you're wrong. And video ads, video sales, landers, YouTube videos, just good content marketing. Everybody's doing it. Videos being consumed more and more, both on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm actually in the process right now of trying to figure out a way of pulling in the Facebook video analytics, because you can get analytics on on your Facebook business page. I want to pull it in and compare that to YouTube analytics, so you know which source that you need to be boosting. Is it YouTube or is it Facebook? Which ones are doing really well for you that you need to concentrate on. But you can get your analytics by the video with all of the rates you want to find. You can do the same thing by the channel. And obviously I don't have any data in here because I'm not going to show you mine or my client's data. But anything you want, once again, this can be customized. So any type of analytic data you want, we can bring it in with Supermetrics or Blockspring and customize it so everything's right here at fingertips. And again, you can take this and add it to Google Data Studios, and it makes it awesome to be able to report. And what's really cool that I like to do for both the funnels and the YouTube is, and really any of them, is try to keep all of my people working in the same sheet and just have client-specific copies that only the client data is sent to, and then from there create the client data, the client's version of Google Data Studio, so that when I email them at the end of the month for the reports, it's a templated email that basically has 5, 6, 7, even 10 links on there of different reports I'm giving them, because those reports will automatically update for what we did the last month. And all they've got to do is click on it, and it takes them to a Google Data Studio of that report. And so it provides a crap ton of value for clients to be able to see quickly and easily. One click and then boom, there's a graph, and they get it. Click, boom, a graph, and they get it. And then it saves you a ton of time, because you really don't have to do anything except for pop up the canned response you want, type in the client's email, and hit send. A couple seconds versus minutes and hours. And if you ever want to get super high tech, get a VA to send the email for you. It's not hard. And so just keep that in mind. Now this one's going to be a lot like the funnel tracking one. These I pair up quite often. It's the Facebook data or ad data and Google AdWords data mixed with Google Analytics. And so you can see, we can track the channel, the campaign name, the month, sources, campaign sessions, any other information you want to track, and you can put it in here and track it. This is really killer for for people that are doing a lot of PPC work, like as if they're, by that I mean somebody that's all they do is PPC, or somebody like me who's kind of does a little bit of everything, or is doing their own PPC work. It's super helpful to be able to, once again, find out what channel is working the best, what campaign's working the best, and do you need to kill it or make some kind of change, or you can see, hey, I've made a whole bunch of changes and the data is really, it's not supporting, continuing to spend the money, so you kill it. And this one for sure, like I would not send any client to this page. I would send them to the Google Data Studios that I've set up so that they can look at ads over the last 7 days, 14, 21, 30 days, month over month, year over year, last quarter, whatever they want, they can filter to that time period. And it's super, super, super powerful, because for these people that do a whole lot of PPC, you can probably imagine, like, man, to not have to create all those reports of here's how much we spent and here's the conversions and yada, 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 like, that's killer. You can make a super easy report from here. And speaking of reporting, next two tabs are going to be strictly nothing but reporting. So the first one is the KPI dashboard that you can create for clients, for yourselves, internally, that just track, whatever your KPIs are on a monthly or a weekly basis. And you can easily just switch between the two. Freaking how cool is that? This one you can put the Google Data Studio if you wanted to. I really wouldn't, because they're just simple charts. And a lot of people that I've been helping lately, they use these internally. And once again, it's using BlockSpring or Supermetrics. And there's a whole walkthrough here. I'm not going to spend the time to show you absolutely everything of how to set it up, because we're going on 33 minutes now, so I don't want to bore you guys too much. Hopefully this has been super eye-opening and helpful to just start thinking like, man, what am I doing? So let's move on. So now looking at just a pure Google Analytics reporting, and so we have different reports that we can pull down. It makes it super simple. What is the date range? You can, all this can be pre-filled to just pull whatever you need from Google Analytics for yourself, per client. Make copies for each client. Again, like all of these sheets are here to help you save time and provide a tremendous amount of value so that you can scale your business and make more money and live however you want to live. And so, I don't know how to make this more self-explanatory, especially this one. We all like Google Analytics, but man, navigating Google Analytics is a pain in the butt, especially since they keep changing up their own navigation user interface. And it's just, a lot easier to just have this one thing that will only change when you change it. So with that being said, now we'll move on to what I think is the bee's knees of all of them. And of course, I haven't shown you absolutely everything. I got to keep a little something mystery. And for instance, integrating Google Sheets with Toggle, so when your VAs are doing work, you can track their time, so you know how much to pay them, and then automatically alerts your accountant to know this person is owed this, and then we're owed this by this client, which then you can turn into graphs, so you can track each client over time to know how your margins change, and then your clients as a whole you can track, so that you know how to further adjust your processes. If you need to sell higher rates or something. I have not shown you those sheets right now, but that just real quickly gives you an idea of like how much Google Sheets can do for you. And for my main man Rohan, I'm getting these Google Sheets to integrate with Slack for him, and even his clients can have their own Slack channel. So every time something is done in this sheet that I talked about earlier, they don't even necessarily have to come here. Like, they can get a message on Slack if they want to, just so they know, hey, so we're doing work. And so every time, think about this, every time that somebody marks this completed or working or something, like they're going to get updates. So I mean, it's like you're making them think that you're providing all this specialized attention to them, which you kind of are in some sense, because it takes time to figure out your processes, figure out how you want everything to flow, figure out how you want to automate it. And so from that point of view, you have to kind of like spend a lot of time for them, but they don't have to know that, it's a VA from Bangladesh and then, some simple coding on the internet. But for any of y'all that are link builders, whether it's SEO, local SEO, e-commerce, or whatever it is, you're really going to like this next sheet, because this is the one I use for my link building campaigns, and also where clients come in at. So whenever my salespeople or funnels convert, I get their information from HubSpot or the funnel, I'm bringing it in here. This is just an example, so not all the data is there, but you can see the headers. And so this will pull across all of the client-specific sheets, so I can easily look up each client, and then when I'm making the clients folders themselves, like this one right here, I can just have them drop down and select then that client, and it automatically pulls their data in. But man, here it is, the project plan. So now you can see this a little bit better. Like, you have different owners that you can sort by. Link prospector comes in and needs to know what he needs to do. Oh, he's way behind. Here it is, August 10th, and he has not done anything for 2 months. So this guy's probably going to get fired, because we can't do a whole lot of link building without link prospecting. And so when he's done, he can just say this is completed or working or whatever. What I really need to do is I need to change this overdue check that I have kind of hidden here to, if it's not marked completed, then it's overdue instead of if it's assigned. I'll do that later. But so everybody in your system, in your employment, one way or the other, will get this sheet and be working out of it. And if you really want to get super specific to make it super easy on your employees, you can even have just their information pulled over to their sheet, where they log into their sheet and it has all of their work they need to do across all the clients, whether it's SEO or link building or PPC or content creation or whatever it is. They have their own sheet they log into, and they never leave. And then all this data is passed around automatically for you. That's the next step I'm building for myself and for several other people, because it's just going to make it super easy. And once again, like the other one, you have a template that you put everything into, you pull it over, or you copy and paste it over, resort, and it folds it in. Now, this is what's really cool for this. This one is, for each client, you can pull down and see, like the on-site SEO, but you have this, but then you also have your number of live links for the month and their average cost to you. And it's up to you whether you want to show that to the client or not. This isn't pulling through correctly, but let's say we're trying to get 10 links a month. Well, we got 2/3 of the month left, and we only hit 20% of the links. We got to kick in high gear, but that's a lag measure. But here's some lead measures. Like, we know we have some opportunities out there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Assuming all those go through. So we're missing 2, and I don't count like social media posts, links, or blog comments, or forum comments. Those are just nice pillowed links to help your link profile and help get some extra traffic. I don't count those as actual building links or quality links. So like my link prospector and then my pitcher, is they kind of live out of this tab of link processor comes in, and for whatever the client is, what the date is, what type of link they're working on, the niche, all this information. If it has a cost associated with, posting content there, they put it in. And then live links, once it goes live, it automatically gets pulled over. And whoever's doing the pitching for me, they keep track of, is there any extra costs? Content cost is relatively the same, so I use a good service for that. What is the anchor text for that link? And so it just tracks all the total costs, which then goes back to your Pulse tab, so you can see that the average cost is $80. And then you just have a couple other tabs that target your specific URLs, your passwords. And this right here, you can actually have pulled over from the other sheets we showed about the search efficiency by page and content. You can do some fancy work with that to auto prioritize which ones you need to go after per client. But let's get a little bit more advanced than this, and we're also running a bit long on time. And so, you may have seen a short little about 12, 13 minute quick overview earlier, but I want to make sure everybody had longer, more in-depth video to watch about, what can they do to help themselves automate their business a little bit more each and every day. And I'm actually going to show you real quick just a little piece of goodness. So here's a sheet I use for Google brand stacking. And so I use this primarily for YouTube videos and then local SEO clients. And so I'll just run over this for you real quick. So it all starts with this Google sheet. So what you do is in Google Drive, you make a folder and you title that folder the keyword you're going after. And then you open it, you set the share settings so anybody on the web can access that folder. And then you copy over this Google sheet, and then you create a Google Doc, a Google Slide, and then a Google Site in there. And so then your information, you get some good SEO keyword-rich information into the Google Doc that you copy into the slides, and then also here into the Google Sheet. You take all of the links, all the URLs, and I copy them here first and build it up because it's easy to keep track of. And then I go to WordPress, Blogspot, Tumblr, Wix, Weebly, Reddit, and other places, other high DA sites I can post for free. And these are the ones I start with. I post this content to, and then all the URLs are posted there. So you have this web of links just going absolutely everywhere, back and forth, all over, going to the Google site. But the Google site doesn't link out anywhere. That's important. The Google site only links to what you want to rank. Because Google's not going to penalize themselves. So you're getting all these super high DA, high PA, and trust flow and citation flow sites pointing at your video or your website, whatever it is. And it's just gonna blow that ranking up, unless it's for something super hard that then you've got to have good content, you've got to have good social and other things. But I'm not going into too much detail on that right now because I'm actually in the process of making a longer expert ultimate YouTube ranking training video that goes through everything. But just doing this right here for a video or a URL will help boost it tremendously. And if you're interested in finding out more about that training, or just need some help or have some questions, just hit me up at Micah at SEOMDTexas.com. I would love to help you guys out, figure out what I can do for you. If you want to, here is the link to my calendar so that we can schedule a quick discovery call, strategy session to just talk about anything you want to talk about. what do you need help with? How can I help you? Is it the YouTube stuff I literally just mentioned, or is it the sheets or the cash flow or whatever it is? Just go to calendly.com/Micah Loftmiller/strategy session. Get a quick 30-minute deal. We'll have a go-to-meeting session. I can share screens. We can talk about stuff. We can draw stuff out. Help you however I can. And so it's been my pleasure. Hopefully you guys have stayed until now, and it's been super valuable. So I just want you guys to take away from this is just to start thinking about how can you automate your business. And to do that, you got to think about, okay, what do I do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, even sometimes on an hourly basis? Especially if you notice you're doing tasks over and over. You're like, man, gosh, I'm going to do this again. Or like, man, or even thinking like, man, who else is going to do this? I mean, I've got to. No, there is a way to not have to do it where you're spending very minimal amount of time on your work, so you can buy back your time. Because I have this saying, why do $8 an hour work when you can pay an $8 an hour person to do it for you? I'm not saying anything bad about them, but some of this you can boil down to very easy to understand training videos. You can give them super easy instructions to follow. They don't have to be skilled at all. They don't have to know anything about SEO or really a whole lot of tech stuff for most of these steps. You just got to give them some training videos, and you give them the tools, and then it's super easy to go from there. But figure out what it is that makes your business the most amount of money, so that then you have a clear direction. You work on your cash flow, you work on your organization so that you can start buying back your time to focus on those tasks that earn your business the most amount of money. Or maybe it's to buy back your time so you can hang out with your family and friends. Like for me, I have 2 little kids. My wife works, but that's totally on her. She says she's an ER nurse. She loves it, or so she says. And so she can keep on doing that as long as she wants, but she also knows she can quit whenever she wants. And we enjoy getting to see and be with each other all the time, go and do stuff all the time. Not really have to worry about anything. Dad's not gone 40 plus 50 hours a week to a job and don't get to see him except for a little bit. No, he's around all the time. That's just how it is for me. That's why I started business and why I created this system, is just to buy back more of that time with my family. So whatever it is, growing your business, spending more time with family, traveling more, whatever your goal is, you got to have your business systemized. And not just that, maybe you just want that big payday. You want somebody to buy you out. Well, if you're doing everything and nobody's going to buy you out because they can't guarantee that they're going to be able to continue the same sustained cash flow. So just my thoughts and some reasons why you want to make sure you have everything systemized. Again, if I talked too fast or I was confusing or anything in any sort of way, please don't hesitate to contact me, both by email here and with the calendar. Love to meet you guys, at least through the phone or video chat, help you out however I can. But until then, this has been Micah, and I hope you have a fantastic day or night or whatever it is you're doing while you're watching this. Peace out.